Hi, Jim Krigbaum here. It took me a while to get around to doing this post, and I thought about it and I did some research. And it's hard to be against lowering our drug prices. Nobody's against lowering our drug prices, but I want to point out things that a lot of people don't realize and why the cost of our drugs are higher. First of all, nearly 40% of the world's drugs are developed here in the United States. And to develop a drug in the United States and to bring it to market costs about $900 million per drug. So for a drug to be developed, it has to be able to cost benefit ratio. They have to be able to recoup the rate, that $900 million that they spend on research and getting the product into the market. Secondly, the United States is one of only two countries in the world that allows direct-to-consumer advertising. And the drug companies are currently spending about $14 billion a year. $14 billion, and I don't know about you, but I'm tired of seeing those commercials about a disease that I never have, and if I do get it, I'm going to rely on my doctor to supply it. Third, the supply chain. Our truckers aren't cheap, our warehouse workers aren't cheap, our distribution system isn't cheap, the retail space isn't cheap. The retail business takes about 20%. Or the distribution business takes about 20% of the cost that we pay at the retail. So that's 20% doesn't matter what the drug costs from the manufacturer, that's cost of getting it distributed. The other factor is legally. The United States loves to litigate, and the litigation and the risks that these companies take, it's about $4 billion a year in settlements on drugs in the United States. That's not equaled anywhere else in the world. Nobody else sues like that, and there's very significant limitations. U.S. imports about $209 billion worth of drugs, even though we produce 22% of the world's supply. Most of our drugs that are produced are coming from Switzerland, Ireland, and the UK, interestingly enough. So the cost of our drugs is impacted by regulations, advertisement, legal risks, supply chain. So we can't just copy what other countries pay. I mean, they don't have these distribution costs. When I was in India, I remember them saying that the number of refrigerated trucks, which a lot of drugs have to go in refrigerated trucks, is very, very small. Well, here we got lots of refrigerated trucks, and that's not cheap. So every time somebody mentions we're going to equal the world's drug prices and bring our prices down, hey, I love bringing our prices down. But let's get rid of advertising on TV. Let's limit the settlements and liabilities. Let's see what we can do to lower the cost. If it costs $900 million to develop a drug, nobody's going to develop a drug that doesn't have a significant following. So we need to be able to lower that cost so that drugs can be developed for some of the more rare diseases. So think about it. And I do have access to the facts, and you can get them as well. So thanks. Bye.